Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Ho, ho, ho. How about now? Oh, there I am. You know, it happens. There's a little thing here with the studio setup that the microphone is active. I can see everything going. I've got monitors. Everything's great. And when I go live, it mutes it. And when it comes back on, the mic is gone. But anyway, you don't care. There's 266 days until Christmas 2026. Peanuts over there on her stand, beeping over there. Well, I just had lunch. Hope to see you guys on the stream. Thanks for being here so much. You know, do the things. You all know the YouTube rules. YouTube likes engagement. YouTube likes when you guys are talking to me. I like it too. Oh, I've got a big channel announcement to make today. There's big changes coming, and not all of it is of my choice. Well, it is, but it isn't. It is and it isn't. We'll explain it in just a moment. First, say hello. Got to say hi to everybody who's here. I saw very first in was Dale. We had Dale. Hello there, Dale. Thanks for being here today. Happy 57th birthday to Ben Mendelsohn, Orson Krennic. You know, he's just a year 2 years younger than me. Well, I'll be 59 end of July. So he's just a couple years younger than me. But thanks for being here. Fitz, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Hope that your holiday weekend is starting off well. This is Easter weekend. Easter is Sunday, just 2 days away. Real Ben, hello. That Dave interview was very interesting. The confirmation of taking some inspiration from George's stuff makes me wonder for the upcoming show, as well as for future projects. Yeah, I will talk about that just a little bit here shortly, Ben. If I forget, you tell me, okay? Let me just say, Santa, you forgot. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Mumbo jumbo. Hello, my friend. Yeah, I was muted. It happens. Yesterday was happy 51st birthday to Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian himself. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I need a new IT department. I am my own IT department. But thank you for that. Let's see. Nick, hello. Maul, just around the corner. That's right. It is right around the corner. In fact, Monday. It'll be here for many of us the middle of the night, Sunday, while we're sleeping. Because I'm not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Are you crazy? Well, it looks like the Maul show is going to release midnight Sunday night, 12 a.m. Monday morning, technically, I suppose. But that's Pacific time. That's West Coast time. That's making Star Wars time. You know, that's for my friend Jason Ward. That's midnight for me, and many of you. 3 a.m. Holy smokes! But you know what's really good for Kiaran and for Meg and for our friends across the pond, as we like to say. For all of you, it's like 8 a.m. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Uh, let's see who else is here in the chat. Hey, there's our friends from Stay on Target. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I got a busy weekend coming up, but great to see you here. Now, yes, hi, Haja. Hello. Good to see you as well. And Peanuts over there making noise. She's wanting to be part of the stream. Why don't you come over and say hi instead of just beeping up there? Yeah. Can you guys hear her whistling real loud? I don't know. Just a couple birthdays until Ian McGregor's birthday. And Sabersmith, I hope you are well. I am doing pretty well. Thank you, Sabersmith. I've got a bunch of vintage collection toys ordered. They'll be coming any day. I've been watching. All right. They charged my card. They charged my account. It should be shipping. I should be getting the arrival not long at all. So hoping to see those soon. Yeah, there's no more 3 a.m. for me with Disney. I'll watch it when I wake up. Exactly. Big mall news yesterday. Yeah, lots of great mall news happening. Yes, season 2. We're gonna check this story out just a second. Lobo, I missed you. There you are. Oh, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. All right. I told you guys I've got a pretty major channel announcement to make. I need to, yeah, yeah, I need to let you all know that, and I've been telling you, we're in the midst of preparing our house to sell it. We're going to buy my dad's property, build a new house, multi-generational kind of thing where he can live in the house with us, have his own space, and hopefully live out the rest of his life living with us. That's the hope. That's the plan. And then later in our lives, we're hoping that maybe one of our kids will be able to move in. We'll go into the apartment space, and we can live there for the rest of our lives as well. So, part of that process, we have to sell our house, and we have officially signed with a realtor. We had a visit with the realtor earlier this week. And one thing that has to happen, it breaks my heart, but it's part of the process, is the studio has to come down. All of this, the Ray Shrine, all of my vintage collection, my Razor Crest, everything, it's got to go. Got to empty the studio. So the mic, the lights, the monitors, toys, everything has to go. This weekend, we're going to be dismantling the office. So the studio. So today is your last time I'll be broadcasting, doing a live stream from this studio. This is it. There's no more. After this, I'll be in my office. It's actually my wife's office upstairs for a few weeks. And that's just a short time until we move out. We're hoping to move out by the end of the month, and then have the house ready for open houses, for showings, for people to come through, and hopefully somebody will purchase the house right away. And hey, we got a super chat. Thank you for that. I'll get to it in just a moment. So we'll be putting the house on the market. We'll move out. I'll be the hope is we'll be living with my father-in-law for a while we go into the process of contracting to have the new house built. We need to get this house under contract and sold. So for today, last day in the studio. Next couple of weeks, I'll be in my office upstairs. And then after that, we'll be moving out into my father-in-law's until the new house is built. In the interim, somewhere in there, we're going to go on the road in the fifth wheel, in the RV. We're going to travel around, hopefully see some of you live and in person, make our way through many states. We're hoping to make it East Coast, West Coast, North and South, make our way around the country, spending a few days, a week from place to place. We'll have 2 or 3 months that we can travel around. And I would love to, if I'm in your neck of the woods, stop by and say hi. Maybe grab a ice cream or a sandwich, maybe a soup. I don't know. We'll get together, just sit around the campfire or whatever we can fit in, and that's going to happen. As part of that whole process, this might be my last Friday live stream of the year. Just being realistic and understanding what's happening. Friday live streams from my father-in-law, from his house, that's not going to happen. Friday live streams in the RV while I'm traveling, maybe hit or miss. So I might be able to live stream from the office upstairs for a couple more weeks, maybe not. So as a big channel announcement, this very well could be my last Friday live stream of 2026. When we get in a new house, I get my new office, I'll have a new studio, everything will be set up. We'll go back to doing our live streams like we do now. If you would like to hang out with me live and in person, we're going to continue doing that, but it's only on Wednesdays on the Zoom calls. So many of you have been on those Zoom calls. I know Dale and Jim, we've had Kieran, and Anthony has joined us a few times. We have a good friend across the pond over there in Eastern Europe who joins us. Meg has joined us from time to time. We've had other guests. If you're one of our YouTube supporters, one of our members here on YouTube, or one of our patrons, I will continue holding those Zoom meetings every Wednesday, the best of my ability. I will do everything I can to be there every Wednesday, to be live. So what else am I going to do? Well, we have these shows coming up. The Maul show. We've got this predictions game. We're going to go through that in just a moment. With the predictions game, I'll go through and I'll score them. And the plan is sometime Monday during the day, I will get to recording a session from my office or on my phone, recording the results of the predictions game. I'll go through, I'll score them, we'll talk about it. I'll record a video, and then I'll post that score video sometime Tuesday or Monday night, something like that, right? So you'll get a video, a pre-recorded video with a live premiere, like when I get it recorded and posted up. Wednesday will be the live with me. And for the most part, that'll be what happens on the channel. Once Maul show is over and we don't have weekly shows, what I want to do is go for a walkabout. Get out of my father-in-law's house, go for a walk out in the yard, in the field, and record a video on my phone. I just talk to you guys about what's going on with Star Wars. I'll record that video and I'll post it up as well. And then I will be there for the premiere in the chat, but it won't be holding these live streams. So again, this might be the very last live stream of 2026. After that, we'll get recorded videos. I'll still be here, and I can meet with you live every Wednesday. Hey, I saw a couple other folks, and we got a big super chat. We got a couple of super chats, in fact. I get to those. Joel, Says, is it just me, or have they really been pushing Maul Shadow Lord's marketing hard? Yes, they are. They are going really hard on the marketing. And what I like about it, they've been kind of smart because there's a big portion of the public out there that have no idea that he's alive after the Phantom Menace. They're like, he dead. I saw him get chopped in half and fall down the shaft, and he's gone. Talk about getting poked with a lightsaber and living. People complain about Sabine getting that little stab in the abdomen, or Reva getting stabbed. She didn't die. All these people are getting stabbed and don't die. Well, none of them got chopped in half and fell down a shaft into the oblivion. Maul did, and he's alive. No, so they've been doing these marketing campaigns showing that, right? They're showing like they thought they killed me. They've tried to kill me over and over again, and they show the scene from Phantom Menace, and then they show the Clone Wars little bits like, hey, he's out there, he's doing his thing, and he's mad. He's got some he's got some vengeance to exact on people. So Maul, the marketing has been quite good, and they've been marketing it quite well. Think about that when you think about the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie. They've started the marketing, and as we get closer, we're now we're just outside of 1 month to Mandalorian and Grogu, right? We're just outside of a month until Mandalorian and Grogu. And the marketing for it has begun. We've seen trailers, we've seen TV spots and YouTube, right? They've been marketing Mando Grogu. It's getting more and more prevalent. You wait until those last couple of weeks, the last week before Mandalorian and Grogu is released in the theater, and it will be everywhere. It's going to be great. So thank you for the super chat, Joel. I truly, truly appreciate it. Quite generous. It helps me a great deal. You can't even know how much it helps me. I run this from my business account when I'm Santa Claus through the winter season, and that money that I make pays for my business. And as the year goes, that fund dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. And it's super chats like this that keeps my bank account from going negative. So thank you for that. I appreciate it because we have costs associated with this channel. I'm buying vintage collection toys, and I'm paying for like this studio, this streaming service. I'm paying for a bunch of things related to the channel, and they charge me for that. So appreciate it. At least it's not a doom and gloom announcement. Thank you for that, Ben. I appreciate it. The hype for Bad Batch was just as good. Wishing you all the best throughout the next few months. Glad you'll still be able to stream though. Yes, thank you. And I hope it to make it into the central part of that state up north. Make it to your guys' neck of the woods. I know my wife and I desperately want to go back to the UP and go on vacation again. And to get from here to the UP, we go very close to your place. And it would be wonderful just to exit there, take an hour or two, 3 or 4, hang out, say hi to you guys, and maybe break bread together. How awesome would that be? It'd be great. So there we go. I just got done doing the same thing. My dad moved into a nursing home, so I moved back to family compound. Oh, it's a lot and somewhat emotional as well. Thank you, Saber Smith. Yeah, it's going to be, we built this house. We custom designed it to live in for the rest of our lives. We raised our youngest daughter. She was born when we lived here. She lived in it through high school, college. This has been the only home she's known. And to leave it is going to be somewhat emotional, but we're excited about the new place. We've got some great plans. So thanks. Fitz. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. Oh my goodness. A very generous super chat from you. I appreciate it. You know, Kieran, it means the world to me. You're a great friend. I appreciate spending time with you. So thank you for the super chat. Matt Risman, look who's here. Matt, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Yes, and there he is with that Ray delay. I am hoping we get an announcement about the upcoming Ray movies, a whole slate of movies. I want a whole group of them. 2 movies, 3 movies, 5 movies, all of the movies. Put Ray and Finn. I'd like to see Jedi Finn. I would love to see, Jedi Ray Skywalker out there doing her thing. I would love to see Grogu perhaps join with Ray and we get, some Jedi out there doing Jedi things after the rise of Skywalker. Let's go. Let's do it. Maul cut in half and lives. Qui-Gon gets stabbed and dies. I know, right? I'm giving up live streams until the Ray movie goes into production. We may never see him again. Oh, Matt Risman. I ought to. I tell you, yeah, I'm going to come to your neck of the woods, guaranteed. There's no way I'm not coming to where you live and sitting down with you and having dinner. You're a fantastic person, also a terrible person. But I'm going to come down and I'm going to see you, guaranteed. That's going to happen. And Jim and as many of you as I possibly can. The Ben. Oh yeah, people need to realize with marketing, it's a change now. Studios are only going to market like the last 2 to 4 weeks. Exactly. You've got it. Come up to Metro Detroit. Robert's Archive. That's on the way north. Out of here, when we go north, we got to go right by there. We scooch right around Detroit. Right? We try to time it so that there's no people out driving on the road, or as little as possible. Right? Yeah, I definitely would love to come on up. So that would be great. We'll get 4 more seasons of Maul before we hear anything about the Ray movie. Meg, hello from Central London. Can't stay, but hello. Thank you, Meg. Great to see you. Meg doesn't talk to me anymore. Our lives, things happen, and I miss you. I wish that we talked more, and I wish you all the best, my friend. I truly do. I truly, truly do. I miss you. Anytime you're ready to talk to me again, please reach out. I would love to talk to you. It doesn't have to be on a live stream. Since this might be the last stream, want to give us any juicy leaks or rumors? I know there's an animated thing coming out, but anything else you've heard? Joel, you know what? Just for that, I've been holding off on, I think, what is a major leak, a major rumor. And there was a little hint about it this week from the Lucasfilm animation studio saying that there's other things in the works. And I haven't said a peep about it. I haven't said anything. I've been waiting for Making Star Wars or Bespin to report on it before I break any news on it. But because you bring this up, you gave me a wonderful super chat. We've got a couple other super chats in the pipeline here. For that, I'll let you know what my big secret has been. Okay, so but I'm gonna ask that you hold on. I'm gonna tell you later. Right? I'll tell the folks that stick around. You stick around to the end. I'll announce it. All right. I'll come clean. I'll come clean. So been loving all the news lately. Glad we have some actual Star Wars in a couple of days. It's just a couple of days. It's almost here. Oh, it's so exciting. Yeah. If you make it to Tennessee's happening. We love Tennessee. Tennessee will definitely be coming through Tennessee. We come down into the Gatlinburg area from time to time to kind of skirt through Knoxville area. Haven't been to Nashville. That's a place that's still on our destination. Made it to Memphis a little while back and said hi to a good friend who lives down there, one of our channel watchers, viewers. So would love to do that. To commemorate Easter, a few days later, we get a story about a resurrected Star Wars character. Coincidence? I think not. Oh, love a good tease. It's a big story, I think. And I've seen people kind of touch upon it, but nobody has actually come out and said exactly what's happening. And and tell you the truth, I don't know exactly what's happening, but I know something's happening, and I know a little more specifics than that. First reactions for Maul will probably be out later. I think the premiere is today. Oh, really? Knoxville's about an hour away. Yay! Oh, I'll make it. We'll make it down there, and I'll definitely be announcing that. So if you're following us on Discord, X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You're following us. I'll be posting where we are, where we're headed, and how you can reach me so that we can meet with you. So when we make it that way, I'm dying to get into some of the news. Maul Shadow Lord. We're getting a second season, folks. How about that? How exciting is that? We didn't know if we would get a second season. There was an announcement earlier on where they said that some of the characters being introduced here were being introduced in such a way that they could use them in stories that spin off of here. The big question is, it remains, it is and it remains to be, what happens with Devin? What happens with Devin, the Twilight Jedi girl? And we know that, as Ben brought up earlier, the story about Dave kind of honoring George's plans, George's vision. And we all know that story about Maul having Darth Talon as his apprentice in the sequels, and that Maul was going to be the big bad in his sequel treatments, and then those didn't make it. Well, my friends, and I talked to Mumbo Jimbo, I believe it was. I talked about this earlier, but I don't think that was the plan by the time it made it to the sale of Lucasfilm to Disney. And I'll tell you why I think that. Because they brought Maul back in the Clone Wars with the spider legs. And part of the story about Maul in George's sequels is he's going to come back with the spider legs. Well, he already did that. So I think when that was his plan, he wanted to bring Maul back with the spider legs, and he's going to have him, develop. I think that was before that happened. And the story, the interview, the thing that made it into the book, the thing that we got out there into the internet, the Star Wars Theory and others have covered, I think was before. And I think between there and later, the plan changed, right? Meg, I see you. I see you. I I do see you. I see you, Meg. And I asked you a question the other day, and I haven't heard back from you, but I just figure you're in a place you're not talking to me, but that's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not hurt. I'm not upset. I just understand you're at a place where you don't have the time or interest to interact with me at that level. But I do want to bring up. So I think the whole thing with Maul becoming the spider leg guy was in his original sequel idea before they did that. And I think Clone Wars took those ideas and they did some of them. And I think now in the Maul Shadow Lord, Dave may take Devin as an apprentice to Maul in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think there's any possibility she becomes any iteration of Darth Talon. I've explained it before. I'll briefly explain it again. Maul is not a Darth anybody. Maul is not going to apprentice another Darth, like a Darth Talon. He may apprentice somebody, but his motivation is to destroy the Sith. He has said so very clearly, very plainly. His goal is to destroy the Sith, to seek revenge on Sidious. He wants Sidious to die. He wants an apprentice to help kill Sidious. And he wants Devin for that purpose. He is not going to be telling her all of the virtues of becoming a Sith. He's not going to be teaching her the Sith ways. He's going to be apprenticing her to maximize her power, to use the dark side and use her anger, use her vengeance to get more powerful so that he can defeat the Sith. She's not about to become a Darth anybody. Secondly, I don't think there's any possible way they're going to lean into anything that looks, pay attention, I've said looks, anything like Darth Talon from Legends. There's no way Disney, Lucasfilm, is going to develop a Twi'lek apprentice of Maul who looks anything like Talon. So not only is she not going to be a Darth anybody, she's not going to look like that. She's going to be a different character. And that character may spin off and have her own story. I don't think she'll end up apprenticing, like once she gets disillusioned with Maul or that story arc ends. We know it will end by the time they get to Rebels. He's not apprenticing Devin any longer. He doesn't have an apprentice. He tries to get Ezra to come along. Ezra says, "No thanks, I'm good." Right? Not exactly. You guys watch Rebels. If you haven't, you'll see how it all works out. I'm not characterizing it well at all. But Devin, at some point, will part ways with Maul. I think very likely she could die, but if they're going to spin her off into a different series of some sort, a different character that does something else, it won't be Darth anybody. It'll be whatever path she is on. I don't think she's going to apprentice with Vader or with Sidious to become Darth Talon as one of their apprentices. So when they talk about honoring Dave honoring George's kind of vision for Maul, and Meg covers this really well. There's no way he's going to be taking those sequel treatments and retelling Maul and Talon. That's not happening. In some way, shape, or form, it's sort of, I mentioned this, it's sort of a tip of the nod, tip of the hat, right? Like, there you go, George. We love you. We appreciate you. That's just not, this is us saying we love you. And that'll be it, right? So that's it. I saw a couple other things. She becomes Dark Talent. There you go. Fitz is poking the bear. Reefer Man, I haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you, my friend. Saw a Twitter account posting a apparent spoiler for Maul finale. They might have been right before too. And he has no father, so he's the chosen one, right? Meg says, I agree, but then why does he recite the Sith code and try to train Savage and the Rule of Two in the Clone Wars season 5? Meg, you're onto it. Meg is, look, even when I disagree with Meg, she's probably right. I'm probably wrong. I'm used to being wrong. It's something that's normal. But why does he quote that Rule of Two? In fact, I'm not sure. With all these people who say that they love the Darth Plagueis novel. Oh, it's the best. Oh, it's so good. You should all read it. Oh, it is good. I don't understand why all those people don't remember that one of the first things in that book that Darth Plagueis does is he puts an end to the Rule of Two. He said it's a dumb rule. It's stupid. It's bad. It's gone. Shaboom. Done. Plagueis says no more. You know who he tells that to? He tells it to Palpatine. He tells Palpatine, that whole Rule of Two thing was dumb. It's not good. And we ain't going to do it no more. And then you see Palpatine take on other apprentices. You see Plagueis take on other apprentices. There's several apprentices that Plagueis has, and he has some of them come and attack Palpatine at one point. Palpatine's had multiple apprentices. Why do you all, who claim you love that book, keep harping on about this Rule of Two thing? I don't understand it. But why does Maul keep bringing up that kind of rule of two Sith code thing, right? Why is he trying to train Savage in the rule of two? I don't know. Makes no sense to me because it don't exist no more. Right? There, I got that off my chest. I think she's going to be the stand-in for Talon. Whether the name is there or not, it's going to be the archetype. We've already seen it with the blue guy. On screen, he's like Legends. Off screen, not so much. You know, Meg keeps bringing up this thing. You know that Lucasfilm on screen is more important than off screen stuff, right? On screen stuff trumps written stuff. Well, it ain't true. It just flat out is not true. It's like the rule of two. It don't exist no more, right? There was a time where Lucasfilm had this tiers of canon philosophy, and George's canon was canon. All the other stuff was canon within itself, and we had tiers. So one was more canon than the next. That was more canon than the one below it. And on we went. That was a thing. But you know what? Lucasfilm, when it was purchased by Disney, they said none of that stuff's canon, never was canon. It's all now Legends. And you know what Dave Filoni has said? He's been very clear about this. Dave Filoni, the president, co-president of Lucasfilm, the dude in charge of content, the guy who's in charge of content, the president, co-president of Lucasfilm, you know what he says? It's all the same. If you found it in a comic or you see it in a movie, same canonicity, if that's a word, right? It has the same weight. It has the same bearing. It has the same footing as each other. So you see something in a comic book you like, and then you see something in a show that doesn't match. Does that mean that the show, since it's on screen, decanonizes what you read in the comic? No. No, it does not. They're the same. Oh, they're the same. And then you did what Dave says. Dave not only says, are they the same? He says, it's all kind of like mythology, right? It's all like going back to classic tales. In whichever story you like is the one you like. If it's the comic book one, you're like, oh, I like that. The TV show comes along or the movie comes along, you're like, it was better in the comic. You know what Dave says? Oh, the comic's equal. The comic's just as good. Go with the comic version then. If that's you, do that. They have the same. That whole tiers of canon thing was dumb to begin with. It didn't have any bearing to begin with. You guys get mad at me now. Anyway, there you go. Vader kills her, and that's what makes him so scared of Vader. Could be. She's simply a weapon. At least that's what he says. I agree. I think that Devin is going to become a weapon for Maul. He's not. Yeah, anyway. Quoting the rule of two or Sith code is Maul entertaining his own code. Mark Hamill, Batman, and Arkham Knight. Hello there. Oh, you're a brave one. You're right, Santa. But I was distracted by Plagueis making a salad at the dinner. Bolt Dimnick. Meg, I saw one of your posts on your Discord the other day where it put a food in there. There's a picture of me. There's a clip of me when Meg turned me all shades of red. I mean, she turned me all shades of red when we were talking on stream, and she said a term. She was talking about Mount Tantus, and there was a little Freudian slip or something, and she didn't say Mount Tantus, and it turned me bright red. I'm not herping about it. Maul is. Oh, okay. I'll give you that. In the book, Plagueis puts an end to it, but Sidious reimposes it by saying Plagueis was foolish to think he could end it. And thank you for the super chat, Joel. Thank you for another super chat. He does say that, but he also has multiple apprentices at the same time. Right? I did see where Sidious comes along and tells Maul, Plagueis putting it into the rule of two was dumb. He thought it was dumb, and well, he was dumb. So there, and he's dead now. I killed him. So there, take that, Plagueis. Right? Yeah, he did. But also, he violated it in and of himself. So, was there rule two, or was it just to get Maul not to get another apprentice? Like, don't get the idea in your head, young man. It ain't happening. There's this rule of two thing, and you're not allowed to. Meanwhile, he goes out and he gets more. Right? It's a good way to keep somebody from doing one thing you don't want them to do. Tell them there's a rule. It literally retconned season 2 yesterday in the new comic. Well, there you go. It just deemed you a new Maul series spot. Interesting scene with Merritt talking to Via Hollow. Oh, thank you, Matt. I'll open up my Discord. I've got it shut off right now. Yeah. I'll pull it up here. He is a shadow. Okay, I'll get to that in a moment. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I appreciate it. People forget there's literally a clip of Dave talking about canon basically not mattering. Most of Star Wars just telling different stories. Ben, this is what I'm saying. And you know it. I know it. A lot of people know it. But I also know there are people who are so their version of enjoying Star Wars is looking at the details and following the details. In fact, a good friend of mine, Meg too, but also another friend of mine who lives over in Eastern Europe, who attends our weekly Zoom calls most weeks. Alex is his name. Alex is also one of these guys who loves canon continuity. And Dave's like, continuities for wimps, right? That's what George Lucas said. Continuities for wimps. George is like, you know what? That's right. Continuities for wimps. It don't matter. It's all stories. And you need to calm down. They can say what they want. The comics have contradicted movies and shows countless times. That's true. But what Dave's saying is the comics might be the more canon version than the TV show. The comics might be the more canon version than the movie. The comics might be the more canon version than the novels. Mix it up, put it in a salad bowl, toss it out. Whichever one comes out first, that's the canon version until it's not. There's the continuity between these isn't so important to Dave. And he says they're all equal. There is no hierarchy. There are no tiers of canon anymore. It doesn't exist. Canon, Dave said so. It just flat out doesn't exist. He said the canon, the comic book version is every bit as canon as the movie version. They're all equal. So did they retcon the end of Andor with the comic, or did they retcon the comic with Andor? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Which one matters most? The TV show or the comic? Which one do you like? That's the one. That's what Dave said. Yeah. Dave's answer was a politically correct way of saying canon is canon until we decide to change things. No, they are canon, Matt. I don't think Pops or Vader ever mentioned a rule of two within a 3 trilogies. Yoda says always 2. That's right, because Yoda is still believing the old Bane rule of 2 thing. He doesn't know that Plagueis told Palpatine it don't matter no more. It's done. It's buried. It's extinct. Right? He wasn't there for the meeting. Yoda didn't hear Plagueis tell Palpatine it doesn't exist. Plagueis fighting Chimera in season 2. But yeah, to be fair, Maul is bright, but not that bright. That's true. They just posted some Star Wars Mando Grogu music on Star Wars Instagram. That's cool. Make that Star Wars YouTube shorts. Yeah. Canon's whatever Pablo says it is. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's also whatever Matt Risman says it is. So, if you want to know what's canon, just ask Matt. He'll tell you. Or I'll tell you a better person. Ask Meg. Meg knows. Meg knows what's canon. I mean, Andor completely contradicts his background given the visual guide. Yeah. I think we just get in universe stories, and people who tell the stories don't always have the details correct. That's true. But I think what they're trying to say is go to Greek mythology, Roman mythology, go back to Egyptian mythology. These stories are mythological. They're not to be read as like factual history. They're not factual events that are lined up. They're all mythological stories. And if you read them, because we've got wizards, we've got dragons, we've got monsters, we've got space battles, we've got fantasy, we've got, all that. And when you try to make mythology into history, then you run into these problems where it's like, wait, that don't make no sense. And that's the way Star Wars is, right? To be fair, in Legends, all the Sith broke the rule of two. You're not wrong, Joel. You're not wrong. Let's see. What did Joel Ben say? I've always had the policy. I don't care about canon because it's more of a marketing thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it was a completely Lucasfilm publishing marketing tactic. Who wants to buy the comic book if the comic book don't matter? That's why it exists. That's why the tiers of canon exist. Because they're like, George is out here saying none of this stuff's real. How are we going to make it real? Let's think about it. Oh, tiers of canon. That's how they did it. With publishing visual dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other resources to argue everything's fluid seems to be a little contradictory. You're right. I agree with you, Mumbo Jimbo. I understand creative license and new creators as well. Right. I just don't care where Star Wars stories come from. Legends, Disney, fans, it's all Star Wars. I agree. Oh my goodness, I agree. I agree so much. So we've gone down a rabbit hole here. Maul. They said they're going to spin off these characters into other shows. I think we'll very well see Devin. I agreed with, there's several people think that Devin was going to die in season 1 of Maul. I don't think she is now. I think Devin is very likely to live on to become another Jedi who exists, or former Jedi who exists during the original trilogy era when, last of the Jedi you will be. Whatever. When Yoda was telling Luke that he needed to do this because he was your only chance here, buddy. And yet you find out, wait, Ahsoka was alive. Ahsoka's a pretty daggone good Jedi. wait. We've got other people who are alive. Wait. We've got a whole list of Jedi who are still alive, who are really good. So yeah. So do you think anything in Maul is going to factor into the Mandoverse? Maul's from Dathomir, Night Sisters. I hope so. Joel, I hope so. And I think there's a good chance that will. Dave, planting those long-term seeds now and all of that. Sort of how Bad Batch mentions Project Necromancer. Yeah. Let's look at this story by, and then I want to bring up this video. Hold on a second. Let me bring up the video and let me hit pause. I don't want to lose that. And then let me share this, share my screen. My co-host on my podcast has a theory. He wants her to become Talon and then become the villain for Daisy. She'd be old. We're in the prequel era and she's young. Well, I mean, she's going to be, you got to think like, all right, the sequels happened about 30 years after. Is it 30 years? I think it's 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So 30 plus the original trilogy time, plus the time before, plus her age would throw her into her 50s. She's like my age. And Rey is like half her age. You know, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I mean, it could. I'm just not convinced quite yet. Hey, this is the great thing. You let the story unfold the way the story unfolds, and we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm mostly excited about that. Maul season 2 announced. Lucasfilm announced late on Thursday, Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord will be getting a season 2. Well, we didn't know that before. And make sure you're following Bespin Bulletin. I love that guy. He's a good friend too. It says, this was quite the shock to fans, given the show's first season has not even begun airing yet. The latest show from Lucasfilm Animation, and Meg brought this up the other day, animation is the future for Disney Plus, Star Wars, original Star Wars content on Disney Plus animation. And I remember there's a little story I'm going to tell you at the end of the stream. I'm going to drop the leak that I've been holding on to. Right? It's a rumor, it's a leak, some information that I have, and I've known for a long time. I just haven't seen it reported yet. So I'm going to announce that at the end of the stream today. It says the latest show has quite some excitement surrounding it from fans, but it was never really marketed as a show that could have more than one season. Well, we know what happens to Maul later. And I'll tell you what, I'm really happy about this becoming a multi-season kind of thing, because Maul, when we see him at the end of Solo, he's got a certain presence, and we never got the rest of the Solo story told. Right? The movie didn't perform well enough. I would love to see that story, this series, catch up to that and take it further. I desperately want that. I desperately want that. And let's hope, right? Let's hope that we get that story told. The latest show, let's see. However, they never claimed it would be a limited series. If anything, it felt like it would depend on how successful or acclaimed the show ended up being. In an article on the official Star Wars website. So, you don't have to, this isn't speculation. This isn't some dude in the basement making up stuff. This is from StarWars.com, right? It says Maul's journey will continue with a second season. Previously wrote about the titles. Chapter 10, the last episode, is titled Finale. So they thought, well, that must mean the end. I mean, that's what the word means, right? When his name first revealed by Lucasfilm, many fans assumed the show was a limited one and there would be no continuation after this. In contrast, we speculated it could be a placeholder, with the actual title being a spoiler. And I saw that on Bespin Bulletin before. Perhaps it will be. Maybe they'll change the name of it by the time it comes out. Maul Shadow Lord premieres April 6th at 12 a.m. Pacific time. So adjust for where you live. There you go. And then there's new action figures and so on. So there's that. Honestly, they'd have to, Kimberg's possibly 10 through 12 be already way in developed if they're planting those seeds already. They're not doing that. They're not doing it. And maybe you've seen, maybe seen Star Wars Theory. He posted, he's kind of excited about this Maul thing and the possibility of Devin being the apprentice, and Dave wanting to honor George Lucas's sort of original plans. But Theory is upset that they're not retconning the sequels, that this is all happening in the prequel era, and they're not just going to write over the sequels with George's sequels. They're going to incorporate it differently. They're changing the names, the places, the times, the events. So it's going to be very little of George's sequel treatments. It's just going to be this kind of, a tribute to George. It's not going to be telling his story exactly. So keep that in mind. It's great news, they announced. So there's no speculation dragging on for the next 10 months. You're right, Ben. Top tier content from Bespin. That's true. Lobo, make Solo 2 happen. Yes, I'm completely on board with that. I wanted to make the movies, but make it happen in animation. Yeah, I'll take it. In fact, Star Wars animation is some of the best Star Wars you can possibly find. You love the movies, animation better in some cases. Some of it's not so good, but some of it's great. You gotta take the good with the bad, I reckon. You could put me in charge of Star Wars today. I don't care for the sequels. You can't wipe them off the map. I would just jump past them and avoid them, but you can't retcon them. I agree, Ben, because believe it or not, Santa's not the only, you know, loose screw in the batch that loves the sequels. There's a lot of us out there. Many of us have been forced off of platforms because our opinion's not popular by the cool kids. And so a lot of us just love Star Wars, and we watch it and we enjoy it. We talk about it with our family. We stay off of social media where it's so terrible, right? I think it'll be interesting if each new Maul season turns out to be a new anthology with him. That'd be cool. It'd be awesome to see the animated show include that exact hollow conversation with Kira. Exactly, Nick. Maybe we'll get that in season 2 or 3 or 5. Maybe this will be a 7-season thing. I don't know. I've been told. Well, I'll tell you more later. I'll tell you more later. I almost let it slip right here. So there's that. And then Matt sent me this video. Maul Shadow Lord. Let me share my screen again. This is the video that came up today. I'll make sure closed captioning's on. I'll turn the audio off. You guys can go watch it. I haven't watched it. This is the first time for me watching this. So here we go. Let's see what it says. In these times, I prefer to keep my presence a shadow. Oh, streaming April 6th. Ever heard of Maul? Oh boy. There's we go to Inquisitor. Maul lives only on Disney Plus. There's a LAAT. I told you there's LAAT. We'll talk about that in a second too. We got lots of action. Lots and lots of action. Maul Shadow Lord. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. I want to get to the predictions. I've only got a half an hour left. I got a code review coming up. Be one thing for sure, when it comes to animation, no matter what the story ever, new animated projects is better animation. It's excellent. Yeah. Not 100% convinced the show doesn't get us to Solo timeline. I don't think it will in this season. I think this season is going to be contained within a very short time frame, right? The Inquisitor bowed and said, "My lord." Is he talking to Vader? I think he is. I think he is, Joel. We're going to talk about the predictions. Given a history lesson. I had to give a history lesson. Real text from my uncle. I seen the preview for the show. Is this before Phantom Menace? He's a major casual. Yeah. You know, I remember people coming out of Solo and saying, I'm confused. I thought this happened before the Phantom Menace. I thought this was but Maul's alive. So is this before the Phantom Menace? I don't understand. How's Maul? Or is that a different? He just looks like Maul, but he's different. I don't get it. All right. A lot of people just don't know. I thought Devon's master was a Trandoshan, but this definitely negates with that large protrusion coming out the back of his head. Yeah. All right. Predictions game. I've got the form. I've published it. I'll be publishing it out. I'll be putting it on Discord, the platform formerly known as X, YouTube, Patreon. I'll be putting it in all the places, Facebook. So if you want to play along, you just submit your predictions here. And this is how it works. If you've played the predictions game with me in the past, you kind of know. You put in your name at the top, right? I'll put Star Wars Santa. Oops. Star Wars Santa, right? And then you have to pick 16 things out of the list that you think are going to happen. Every one that happens, you get a point. So, whatever you do, don't forget to post a weekly reminder on YouTube posts. I try. I know what you're saying, Matt. I remember. So if Maul takes the Emperor during this, does that mean Sam is just back and forth with himself? He's done it before. Yeah. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Thank you, Brandon. Good to see you. I can't wait to watch Maul series. All right. So you pick 16. I'm going to start with the easy ones. All right. This is my predictions. I'll leave them as they are today for Monday. So you can make your predictions based on my predictions or your own predictions, whatever you want. Right. So, what do you think is going to happen? Mention or use of the Force. I think that's a given. It's Maul. Of course, there's going to be use of the Force. Um, we'll come back to like slang and lingo later. Imperial troopers, Bad Batch, visit more than one planet. We'll come back to these. We'll do the easy ones first, and then we'll fill in the blanks. Um, more than one planet. Jedi starfighters, TIE fighters. Someone is killed by a blaster. You just saw Maul with like that Gatling gun kind of thing. That counts as a blaster. I don't know. Another Jedi appears, not Devin or Ahsoka. So the Devin is the Twilight girl, and it says Jedi, so not Maul. But we know Devin's master is going to be in some, so I'm going to say yeah. A droid is called by name. I revealed to you last week there is a droid that is in this that does have a name. We'll see. Conversation takes place on screen in hyperspace. I'm going to skip that. Space battle. Mention of the Emperor, but he does not make an appearance. A red lightsaber, not Maul's. Oh, you took the fun out of it, Santa. Yeah, I don't know that we'll see another red lightsaber other than Maul's, right? So I'm going to say no. Someone stunned by a blaster. Rook cast. I don't know that Rook cast is going to be in the first 2 episodes, so I'm going to skip that one for now. I'll come back. Star Destroyer. We saw it in the trailer. I don't know. Solo movie cameo like Kira. I put it in there because, it's a thing. A ship is blown up. A V-wing. Another color lightsaber, not red and not Maul's. Well, yeah, we're going to see that. 100% we're going to see that. Devin has a lightsaber and it's not red. She's going to light her lightsaber. We're going to see other lightsaber colors. Yeah. A lightsaber is used. Now this one counts Maul's or Devin's or anybody else's. Of course that's going to happen. LAAT gunship. We saw it in the trailer. We've seen it in several trailers. There is an LAAT gunship. We'll come back. Pikes. Oh, I had to put it in there for fun. And you know what they did? They put pikes in one of the spots. That's hilarious. Someone's killed, not by a blaster. Well, yeah, Maul's going to kill people. That's happening. Saul Guerrera, no. Maul says Kenobi. No, I don't expect it. Subtitles on an alien language. An Inquisitor is in the episode. Is the Inquisitor going to be in the first 2 or later? Mention of Vader. Is it going to kneel down and say something to Vader? We see ISB agents, more than one together off of Coruscant. Well, they were in the comic that leads right into this, and they're on the planet there where Maul is going. I think we might see them. Ahsoka is in an episode. We see or hear the Emperor, and we see or hear Vader in person or a hologram. We saw the Inquisitor kneel. Are they saying, my lord, to Vader? I think they are. And I think we're going to see him at some point. But you see here, I have to pick 16. I haven't picked 16. I've picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got to pick 11 more. So what you do is you pick the easy ones, and then you go back and you guess. You say, oh, well, they're going to say Nerf Herder or Dank Ferrick. Nah. Are they going to say something like, may the force be with you? A bad feeling? I think we might hear that. Devin and her master, they say, may the force be with you, master. Right? My Padawan, whatever. Imperial troopers, more than one. Not sure. More than one planet? Yeah, I think that's going to happen. TIE fighters, someone killed by a blaster? I think that's very possible. I'll put yes. A droid called by nickname? I know there's a droid. I know it has a name. Is it in the first 2 episodes? I think it's the image I saw was with Rook cast, so I'm going to say no. Because I don't know that Rook cast is going to be in this first 2. A space battle. Mention of the Emperor. Red lightsaber, not Maul. Someone stunned? Nah. Star Destroyer. That's in the trailer. A ship is blown up. I'll say yes. V-wing. LAAT gunship. I'll say yes. Pikes. Pikes. 1 or more pikes. Are we going to see pikes in the first 2 episodes? I'll say yeah. I'll say yeah. Pikes. Sure. Subtitles on an alien language. Well, we're on a planet with lots of aliens. Could they be there? Inquisitor. I'll say yes. I still don't have 16. I got to come up with some more. Go back through and make another pass. Star Wars slang. Imperial troopers. I'll say yes. Am I 16 yet? No. Vader. Ahsoka. ISB. More than one. I'll say yes. Mention of Vader. Subtitles. I'll say yes. Oh, there's my 16. Yeah. Lawson's droid will be a fan favorite. His design is awesome. I hope so. So, all right. So there we go. I'm going to submit my answers. Now, the way this works, I'm going to show you how it works. Is now that I've done my predictions, let me bring up the answer key here. Let me close this. I'm getting lost in. Here we go. Right. So what I'll do is I'll take the answers and I'm going to put them into this sheet. You'll see it says predictions. This sheet then has all my answers. Now, this is from Andor. This isn't it exactly, but this will give you the idea. And every time you open that form to take your predictions, it jumbles the answers up. So, the question: what will happen? They're randomized. So your answers are going to be, even if you pick the exact same ones I do, you're going to appear differently on your card than mine, your Connect 4 card. And then what it does here is you'll say it takes the 4 responses and breaks them up into each one gets its own column, right? So they go across. Then if you look at the cards, it puts them on a card. And if you get a question correct, you'll get a point. And it'll calculate that into your subtotal. And then you get bonus points for either, for any 4 across, 4 up and down, 4 diagonal. And we'll put the bonus points on there, add the 2 together, and you get your total, right? So that's how it'll work. You'll get your own card, and things will be randomized on there. We'll go through the show, mark the things that are correct. So that's what happens here. If something happens, we put a yes, right? So if we say, let's pick one of the easy ones, right? Let's pick a lightsaber is used. Let's say yes to this one. What's another one we could, another color, not Maul's? Yes, we can say yes to that. Another Jedi piercing. Mention the use in force. All right, so I've done just a few here. You'll see what it does. See how it turns them green? Now this says Luthen dies. These are still from my other predictions. So don't. I'm just showing you like how it will look, and it'll color these. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. And then it will total them. Right now the math is off. I've still got to finish the template, and then it will add them all up. So that's what we're working on. And then through the weeks, we'll put your names here, and we'll put your scores. There are 5 weeks, 10 episodes. We'll put all of them in here. And if you score on the season, like we did before, we had Kay, Matt, Baymax, Nerd Mafia, and Fitz all beat me in the previous Andor show, and I sent them Star Wars Santa merch. If you win, I'll send you Star Wars Santa merch. That's how it works. So you can win some Star Wars Santa merch, and it costs you nothing. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron. You just play the game, and it's free to play, free to win. And Santa buys the merch and ships it at Santa's expense. So your super chats help tremendously. I can't thank you enough for those. That's what keeps us in business here and allows me to do these things. So there you go. That's how the game's going to work. Let me get caught up on the chat, see if there's anything else you want to talk about. And then I've got the big reveal. I get the big reveal at the end of the show. Have a wonderful Easter. Yes, Easter weekend for those who celebrate. It's this weekend. It's coming right up. Inquisitors have red blades. They do. I should have put that in my predictions. Other red blades, not Maul's. Inquisitor blades, yes. Merrick or Crowboy could be there. Maybe not in the first episode, but if it's in either episode. Quick question. Do you think majority of what we have seen is from the first couple episodes? I would say probably half of what we've seen is from the first 2 episodes. The other half is probably, spaced out. Yes, the Stanley. Yes, I saw. Dryden Voss could also count as a solo. Yes, he would. He would count as a solo cameo. Rigged Santa cheats, yet Matt beat me. You know who cheats. Yeah. People accuse Matt Risman of being a cheater, but Matt Risman basically does science. He sits down and he, cross tabulates things. He keeps record. He's got a better brain than me, and he remembers things. And he's like, I saw this interview and I read this thing and I watched this other thing and I put those together and I remember. And so then when Matt does his predictions, he gets more points than the rest of us because he's paying better attention. That's how Matt cheats. Pay attention. And you can cheat like Matt cheats. Dale says, I have a sweater, a hoodie, and hats to prove it. Yeah, Dale's won some of my merch. Santa's favorites win. All right. So that's the news of the week. I had to kind of get through it because I've got a code review coming up here in just a few minutes. And I've promised you something. I'll get to your comments now. And I'll get to my big reveal now. If you've been hanging around to hear what's this thing that Santa has been keeping secret, well, part of it's not exactly secret. I'll do the first one. That Star Wars Animation, they did a thing there, said we're working on stuff that hasn't been announced yet. I heard that a year and a half ago. There's another series in the works that has not been announced. I don't know what it is. I honestly do not know what it is. I have my hope. My hope is that it follows Return of the Jedi and it features the big three, right? Han, Luke, and Leia. I want desperately for them to tell the story following Return of the Jedi, leading up until The Force Awakens, especially just give us the part from Return of the Jedi through Mandalorian. Give us those 15 years between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian. Let us see Luke becoming the Jedi we see at the end of Mandalorian season 2. Let us see his story unfold. The only version of that, and it's quite extensive, is in Legends material. None of that's canon anymore. Tell the story to us in animation. Give us a new canon version for whatever that's worth, right? Give us a new story of what happens after Return of the Jedi. Wrong. So that's what I want. I have no idea, but I do hear that there's another series, not Maul, not anything that we've heard so far. That's the first bit of tea, right? I also expect from animation we're going to get another Tales of any time, and it'll just show up maybe later this year. I hope. I have no idea what that. I've not heard anything on that, but there's a big one. There's a big one that I know, that I've been told, and I've heard people speculate. Star Wars Animation has been working on for a long time a feature-length animated movie. There it is. That's what I've known. There's rumors of it. There's people out there who said, I've heard they're working on this. I can tell you that I know from a quite reliable source that is true. There is a feature-length animated movie being worked on at Lucasfilm Animation right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it is. I don't know anything about it. I know nothing. Feature-length animated movie. It's out there, right? It's being worked on. I've heard different theories of what it could be. One theory that I think has a bit of merit is a retelling of A New Hope in anime. I heard that a long time ago. And when I heard that it tied together with what I had heard about the movie being in the works, and I said, ooh, anime is huge. Anime is huge, right? Around the world. Maybe not as much here, but it's very popular here in the States. And I know that next year they're going to be releasing A New Hope in its original theatrical format. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go see that again. I haven't seen it since I was 10 years old, 1977, when I went and saw it in the theater. I have not seen that in the theater since. I saw it one time in the theater in 1977, 10 years old, and I have vivid memories of pieces of it. Plus, I've seen the more of the original trilogy when they first, before George started remastering it and, tinkering with pieces of it. If they're working on a feature-length New Hope retelling in anime, it would fit. I'm not saying that is what they're doing, but it would certainly fit. But it could be anything else. I don't know. There you go. That's all Santa knows. Santa knows nothing else. That's all I got. Tales of Salacious B. Crumb, 10 season saga. It would probably be big 2028 film. I don't know. I think it could be a 2027 film, 2027 release to kind of go coincide or nearby with A New Hope re-release. Animations, everything from Starfighter forward. I don't know about that. Very interesting on that movie. It raises all kinds of questions. Resistance feature-length animated movie. Our Ray delay is prophesied by Matt Risman ends by Next Animation is Ray-based. There you go. They're going to start. Oh, this is just to trigger you, Matt Risman. And Meg, if she's still hanging around. This is me having fun, right? The next animated series, multi-season, 7 season or more, is going to feature Ray. No, don't know. Is Droid still in the works? I've not heard. Would they potentially animate the original trilogy that would build the character models for future shows? They could. Absolutely, they could, Ben. Let's level up that Obi-Wan Vader fight. Yes, right? Instead of like, punk. I'll get you, punk. Yeah, let's do that. Thanks. Wonder if the film will be straight to Disney Plus or planned. It's planned for big screen. From what I understand, it's supposed to be a feature-length movie for theatrical release. That's what I understand. Look, it's been a long time since I've seen an update on it, and I do not have any specifics whatsoever. I can't expand on it anymore. Everyone's right from a certain point of view. Sam Witwer, Dave Filoni, vetoed. Matt. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. As I said at the beginning of the show, this will be guaranteed. This is my last live stream from this studio. The Ray Shrine is coming down this weekend. All of my toys are going to be boxed and put away. Everything in this studio is going to be boxed to get ready to move. I'm going to take down the lights, the desk, everything. It's all coming down this weekend, tomorrow. So last live stream from this studio, perhaps the last live stream of the year. So if you're right, I could see a modern animated New Hope movie in theaters. I could. I just don't know. All right. I wish I could hang out and talk to you guys more, but I've got to go. Matt, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you this too, because look, the Ray Shrine is behind all this like stuff here, and you cannot see it prominently. You know where the Ray Shrine needs to be? It needs to be right here. This space needs to be the Ray Shrine, so that the entire time during my live stream, and even if I bring up these socials, if the Ray Shrine is here, you can see it prominently on all of my live streams. It'll be right there where you won't be able to take your eyes off of it. You won't have to look at my silly face. Right? You can look at Ray right there. It's going to happen, and you're the credit, right? because Matt Risman is always poking the bear. I'm going to put it right there just to, get it back at him. Uh, yes. Thank you, fact checker. Thank you, my friends from Stay on Target. Yes, the Ray Shrine will return and in greater numbers. This is true. You're leaving already. I've got to sign off for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for being here and listening to my nonsense. I appreciate the live interactions. It certainly helps. And you guys, those super chats mean the world. It makes the difference. It makes a huge difference. And I can't thank you enough. Can't wait to see you all when we're on our road trip. If we're near you, be it Tennessee, that state up north, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Florida, we're going to try to hit as many of those as possible. I'd like to make it to Georgia and see the living legend himself. I'd like to see Mike Porter and make my way around and see more of you as well. I'd like to get to California and go visit my friend Jason Ward. Everybody. So thanks for hanging out. May the thread and the force be with us all, always. And thank you, Dale. May the force be with you. And until next time, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And may the force be with you always. Bye-bye now.